Charlie Kirk said that undocumented immigrants from Honduras should fix their own country. He also pushed the racist Great Replacement theory, saying migration is about replacing white Americans. And when confronted with the fact that the U.S. is the reason so many Hondurans had to flee in the first place, he said, and I quote, "I don't care." Oh, really? Let's put this in context. In 2009, the Honduran military orchestrated a coup to oust democratically elected President Zelaya. Now, after initially publicly condemning the coup, the U.S. eventually embraced it, since Zelaya was seen by us as too far left for promoting progressive reforms, which would threaten our business interests there. So now that we legitimized the coup, when the next elections were held, we backed the Conservative National Party under Presidents Lobo and then Hernandez, despite widespread reports of election fraud both times. While both presidents were conspiring with drug traffickers, under Hernandez, Honduras turned into a genuine narco state, where his government was collaborating with cartels while U.S.-trained military and police units violently cracked down on protesters, journalists, and political activists. Gang-related unalivings against citizens, many singled out as women and LGBTQ, rose dramatically, often with complete impunity. U.S. multinational corporations began dominating the economy, with private corporations running autonomous cities with their own laws. Corruption was practiced openly, while these post-coup regimes pushed for the privatization of healthcare, electricity, and education. Sound familiar? After Hernandez's fraudulent re-election in 2017, we supplied arms funding and training to violently suppress protests, targeting journalists, indigenous leaders, and unionists. And just like many of the countries I've spoken about that the U.S. had a hand in destabilizing, the Honduran oligarchs got richer, poverty spiked, as did migration to the U.S. Eventually, popular resistance grew, and in 2022, the election of Xiomara Castro marked a break from National Party rule. She not only is the first female president in Honduran history, she was actually the first lady during Zelaya's presidency. But things are far from good there. Over 60% of the population still lives in poverty, and while the recent decline in people coming here from Honduras may reflect Castro's security improvements, the underlying damage from the narco state that U.S. business interests benefited from for all those years still remains, hence the mass migration. It's also worth noting that former President Hernandez was actually sentenced to 45 years in a U.S. court for drug trafficking. Honduras is a beautiful, resource-rich country, and people flee from there out of desperation. And if the U.S. stopped destabilizing nations like Honduras, there wouldn't be a so-called border crisis or any replacement theories to push. So when Charlie Kirk literally says he doesn't care that the U.S. is responsible for why people are forced to flee, that tells you all you need to know, and that's the context that matters most.